Well, good afternoon and welcome to the Market Wrap for Tuesday, the 14th of July. And believe it or not, the Aussie market did not budge by a single point today. We finished the session completely unchanged, completely flat. So if you have a look at where the numbers are at, we finished at 8,808.5 points. You can see 0% move and 0 points moved by the end of the session. But this is after being down by over 0.5% earlier on in the day, and it does follow a subdued session yesterday as well, when our market was only up by just 2.5 points. So 2 days where the market hasn't really gone anywhere. Today's moves, or lack of moves I should say, can't come after what happened last night, another night of rising tensions in the Middle East, with President Trump saying the US would reinstate a blockade on Iranian ships transiting through the Strait of Hormuz and charge all other cargo a 20% fee. But look, markets are kind of in wait and see mode. We know Trump tends to chicken out, so to speak. That's where the term taco came from, of course. Trump always chickens out. So we don't know if he'll deliver on his threat. So I think markets are just guessing at the moment and waiting for a fresh catalyst to drive some bigger moves. And of course, on the back of that, we did see a sharp jump in oil prices overnight. So oil prices surging by 9% last night, extending gains in today's session. So they're currently sitting roughly at around 85 US per barrel. That's sitting at a 1-month high, and that was reflected in what we saw from energy stocks today. So unsurprisingly, some of the best performers of the day, the energy sector up around the 2% mark, so certainly the outperformer. Utilities as well up by 1.4%, bouncing back from yesterday's falls, and the materials sector also bounced back from some falls that they experienced yesterday, up by 0.7%. So that was helpful to balance out some of the declines that we saw across some of the other sectors, like financials, which were down by around 0.5%. Being our biggest sector, it was a bit of a weight. We did see consumer staples down 0.8%, industrials down around 0.5%, and real estate doing absolutely worst in percentage terms, down by 1.6%. Now, looking at the winners list, energy names were among the best performers, unsurprisingly. Karoon Energy up by around 4%, Woodside was up around 3%, Santos up a little more than 1% today. A gaming giant Light & Wonder was the top performer, though. It was up roughly 8%, and this is after the company reaffirmed its FY26 guidance ahead of its full year results. Domino's Pizza actually climbed by 5% today, despite receiving target price cuts 2 days in a row now, but keep in mind its share price is still around 20% lower in year-to-date terms, so it has had quite a rough ride. And WiseTech was another company to receive a target price cut today, but its share price actually lifted. Keep in mind, though, before today, it fell for 4 sessions in a row. And this is a time when we will start hearing from companies, as we did with gaming giant Light & Wonder ahead of company results being released in August, which will of course be reporting season. So it is likely that we're going to continue seeing some more broker changes. We're going to continue seeing companies coming out with updates ahead of those full year results being ahead, and that's sometimes referred to as confession season. Now, looking at some of the losers, as I mentioned at the top, the financial sector was down by around 0.5%. That was weighed by some of the major banks. ANZ did worst among the 4 major banks. Now, gold miner Kingsgate was the worst performer for a second straight day. This is after alerting investors to a mechanical failure at its plant in Thailand, which could potentially impact its production guidance. So extending yesterday's nasty falls, down even more today, down by roughly 16%. And the owner of IGA Metcash was lower as it traded ex-dividend, set to pay out eligible shareholders 9.5 cents per share on the 26th of August. Now, looking over to currencies, they haven't moved too much, but they are in positive territory. We are seeing the Aussie dollar by 69.2 US cents, higher against the euro and the Japanese yen as well. Now, looking ahead from here, it's going to be a super busy 24 hours. So in the United States tonight, we do have those bank earnings being released. A number of the banks really kicking off earnings season. Bank of America, Citigroup, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Chase and Wells Fargo. Now that'll continue throughout the week as well. So that could certainly move markets tonight. We also have US inflation data being released. This is super important given that there are some concerns that the US Fed could raise interest rates as early as July. The end of July in a couple of weeks' time is their meeting. At the moment, there's about a 40% chance that they could raise interest rates at their July meeting, but it looks like it is fully priced in for the September meeting at this stage. That's brought forward from October following some recent comments from the Fed officials. So wait and see what comes out of tonight's inflation data. If it is hotter than expected, then we could see markets pricing in or increasing chances of a rate hike at the July meeting. Just reaffirming once again, that's sitting roughly around 40% at this stage. We also have Kevin Warsh speaking tonight. He'll also speak tomorrow night. We'll be listening closely to what he has to say. Then locally tomorrow, we have Rio Tinto and Evolution Mining out with quarterly updates and Chinese monthly data that'll be out at 1 p.m. and can certainly drive what happens in our markets in afternoon trade. So as I said, a very busy 24 hours, and of course any developments from the Middle East could move markets and oil prices as well. So lots to look forward to, and let's see what happens in markets tonight and tomorrow. See you tomorrow afternoon.